I'm what you'd call homeless. After graduating from college, I got a job at a company in New York, but the office politics and relationships wore me down day by day. The stress took a toll on my mental health, and I was seeing a therapist for counseling. Both my mind and body were in bad shape. However, one day, I just lost all motivation for my job and quit. I had no desire to look for another job. And so, my current lifestyle began. I've been living in New York parks for nearly a decade now, leveraging my connections within the homeless community. I sometimes take on day labor jobs to get by. The corporate world wasn't for me, and I didn't resist the life of homelessness. I felt a sense of freedom and genuinely enjoyed my days. However, now that I'm in my 30s, I've begun to worry a bit about the future. As I age and my health declines, will I be able to continue this way of life? Still, the thought of re-entering society seems impossible. I doubt any company would hire someone who became homeless in their early 20s. With these concerns weighing on my heart, I continue to live my life as it is. One day, a young girl visited Central Park, where I live. She looked about middle school age, dressed in a school uniform, and sat down on a bench by the lake with a musical instrument. That instrument was a trumpet. It felt familiar to me. I had practiced it passionately during my school days. I once aimed to go pro, but after realizing my limits, I hadn't touched it in years. After looking around, the girl began to play her trumpet. To be honest, I didn't think her performance was very good. However, I could tell she was giving it her all. While I was listening, she noticed me and turned my way. I was worried I might have startled her and was about to turn away when she said,
"I'm sorry, was I too loud?"
She then stood up and gave me a deep bow. No, it wasn't loud. I was just listening because it sounded good. I replied. It was a lie to say she was good, but I didn't want to be too blunt. So I said that. Her eyes lit up and she exclaimed,
"Really?"
with excitement. From there, she began to share her story with me. Most young kids usually avoid someone like me, but this girl seemed not to mind. I thought about this as I listened to her. Her name was Layla. She's in her first year of middle school and just started playing the trumpet this spring after joining the school band. She got the trumpet as a birthday present, but she mentioned coming to the park to play because her older brother was studying for exams and she didn't want to disturb him at home. From her story, I guess she probably came from a well-off family. When I was young, we didn't have much money, and even though I wanted to pursue music, I was told to choose a more realistic path. Oblivious to my past, Layla happily held her new trumpet. I didn't tell her about my own experience playing the trumpet. From then on, Layla started visiting the park every Saturday afternoon. Whether I was there or not, she'd sit on the same bench and practice. I didn't think she came specifically to see me, but once, when I spotted her from a distance, she seemed to be looking around as if searching for someone. So when I showed up, she was genuinely delighted.
In my school band, there are kids who've been playing for a long time, and they tease me for not being good. That's why I was so happy when you said I played well.
Layla said, I wondered how she'd feel if I told her I didn't actually think she was that good. A pang of guilt hit me, but I decided it wasn't necessary to bring it up, so I kept quiet. One day, I noticed Layla, who usually played her trumpet with joy, frowning at her sheet music. What's the matter? I asked.
There's a part I can't play well.
She answered, looking downcast. I see. I responded, glancing at the sheet music. Indeed, it might be a bit challenging for a middle schooler who's been in the band for less than a year. But I hadn't really spoken much about my past as a trumpet player, and I hesitated, thinking that she might not appreciate advice from an old man like me. Despite my lack of confidence, Layla confided.
There's an important audition coming up for a music contest this fall. What should I do?
Her face looked like she was on the verge of tears. I had watched her practice fervently in this park and had seen her skills grow steadily. I couldn't ignore her passion for the trumpet. When you play this part, shape your mouth like this, and you'll get a clearer sound. Pay attention to the rhythm and move your fingers like this. As I unexpectedly started giving advice, Layla looked surprised. However, she immediately began playing the trumpet, following my instructions. A few hours later,
I did it. I got it right, didn't I?
Layla exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. It was perfect. I replied, sharing in her joy. The fact that she could show such improvement in such a short amount of time was a testament to Layla's passion and ability to learn quickly.
Thank you so much.
Layla expressed her gratitude once again. It's no big deal, I responded, feeling a bit awkward receiving such direct appreciation, as I wasn't used to it. When she asked,
How do you know so much about the trumpet?
I shared how I had spent a significant portion of my youth practicing and playing the trumpet.
That's amazing. You played the trumpet for 15 years. I want to be a performer just like you.
Layla's eyes sparkled even brighter than before. Well, that was all during my student days, I said, a bit embarrassed. Seeing her hopeful eyes was slightly overwhelming, but indeed heartwarming. I wondered if I had the same passion when I was her age. Watching Layla, I felt like she might fulfill the dreams I hadn't been able to achieve in my own youth. However, one day, Layla's usual cheerfulness changed dramatically. For a month, she had been absent from the park every Saturday. I thought maybe she was practicing somewhere else. Then, on a weekday evening when she typically wouldn't be there, a downcast Layla appeared. I approached her in surprise. What's going on? I noticed she wasn't carrying her beloved trumpet case. She slowly took a seat on the bench. She seemed different, as if burdened by something. I hesitated, wondering how to approach her. After a brief pause, she finally spoke.
I passed the state contest audition.
It was joyful news, something I hadn't expected given her gloomy demeanor. Well, that's amazing. That's a big deal for a freshman. Congratulations, I said. She gave a half smile and replied,
Thank you.
before continuing her story.
But then, after hearing the news, a male student in the second year got angry. He said it was presumptuous for a freshman to achieve such a feat, and he broke my trumpet.
I was shocked by this revelation. The trumpet she cherished so much. She didn't go into much detail, but it seemed the trumpet was damaged beyond repair. Naturally, word of the incident reached the school and parents, turning it into a major issue. Then, Layla opened up about her family background. It turned out that there had been recent changes in Layla's household. Her father had just remarried. In this new family setting, Layla had a stepmother and a new brother, 2 years her senior. Her stepmother came from a wealthy family and was the daughter of a CEO. Although Layla's father had a job, their luxurious lifestyle was mainly sustained by the support of the stepmother's family. The revelation was startling. Layla's father had passed away the previous month, and she was now living with her stepmother and stepbrother. After her father's death, Layla's stepmother's demeanor changed, and the warmth that was once there seemed to disappear. When the topic of compensation for the damaged trumpet came up at school, the stepmother dismissed the idea, insisting there was no need. Furthermore, there was no offer to replace the broken trumpet.
There are instruments available for loan at school, but they can't be taken home, so I can't practice at my house.
Layla explained. What struck me the most was the revelation that there were discussions about her being kicked out of the house and placed in a facility. To avoid this, she even considered leaving her home. I deeply felt her anguish, seeing her not only mourning her trumpet, but also having lost her family. With an uncertain future ahead, my heart ached for her.
My stepmother scolded me, saying I was being greedy. She told me that even though I live in such a nice house, wanting something like a trumpet was too much. She had always thought I was selfish from the start. Maybe my dream of becoming a professional player is a luxury after all.
Layla confided. Only the sorrowful murmur of Layla's voice and the sound of the flowing river reached my ears. It's not a luxury. What's so luxurious about having a dream? It's undoubtedly a blessing to find one's dream amidst others who don't have one. But it's not something you've taken from others, is it? It's something you found on your own and worked hard to achieve. I don't want you to give up on such a wonderful dream because of what others say. Layla, you're incredible. You worked so hard, so passionately towards your dream without getting distracted. That's an amazing thing, something irreplaceable, and you shouldn't let it go. Before I knew it, I found myself pleading with her. Layla looked at me with wide, surprised eyes, and then tears began to spill. Seeing her like that, I felt as if I was looking at a reflection of my younger self, and it made me feel like crying. I gave up. I couldn't stand up to others, and I lost faith in my future. I don't want Layla to feel the same way I did, I said as I handed her all the money I had in my pocket.
Wow, $200.
Layla exclaimed in surprise. Use it to buy a trumpet. You might not be able to get a brand new one, but you should be able to find a decent used one, I told her.
I can't accept this. It's too much.
Layla protested, but I persisted in giving her the money. This isn't just for you, I earnestly conveyed. It's for the man who gave up on his dreams. I want you to fulfill those dreams on my behalf. Hearing these words, Layla cried again and accepted the money.
Thank you. I promise I'll pay you back,
She said. The facility where she was to be placed was a little way off from here, and she mentioned she wouldn't be able to come by for a while. However, she repeatedly assured me she would return the favor someday. 10 years passed, and I, now 40, still live here. Deep down, I held onto the hope that Layla might show up again, not because I wanted the money back, but because I yearned to see her thriving and to know whether she had realized her dreams. After all, I thought it would be only natural for her to forget about me after so many years. Yet, in my heart, I hoped she was walking the path of her dreams and had chosen a life that truly fulfilled her. One bright Saturday morning, I was awakened by the beautiful sound of a trumpet. It was powerful and seemed to dance in the air, possessing an indescribable beauty. It was different from the sound Layla used to produce, but there was a familiar warmth to it. Looking over to the park bench, I saw a woman standing with a trumpet. Her sturdy posture, seeming to point towards the sky, drew me in. In my heart, I thought, could it be? And made my way towards her. Sensing my movement, the woman turned around and with a smile said,
sir.
Her hair had grown long, her makeup was refined, and she wore a refreshing light blue dress. She looked so different, but those eyes were unmistakably Layla's. Layla, I called out, before she could reply with,
It's been a while. I thought maybe if I came here.
Tears I couldn't hold back any longer flowed from my eyes. There she was, a grown and thriving Layla, standing right in front of me. She still held a trumpet in her hand, playing notes that emanated genuine joy. Seeing her like this, my heart felt complete.
Here, sir.
She handed me a handkerchief with a delicate pattern and began to recount the events of the past. After purchasing the used trumpet, she practiced fervently, and in high school, as the band club president, she won a competition. Furthermore, after graduating from a prestigious music university, she now actively performs in a professional symphony orchestra. That's amazing. Congratulations, Layla, I said, deeply moved by her achievements. She smiled gently and said,
But it's all thanks to you, sir. Because of the encouragement you gave me that day, I was able to come this far.
She expressed her gratitude sincerely. From her, I received a light blue envelope. Upon opening it, there was a $200 bill inside. I was puzzled, but I accepted the money, understanding it was a gesture of her gratitude. However, Layla continued,
Actually, there's something I wanted to ask you, which is why I came here today.
Her demeanor had changed so much from the child she once was. Seeing her serious expression as an adult, I felt that she was about to share something important. Surprised, I straightened up and listened attentively.
I'm sorry to ask, but I have a favor to request. I want to create a learning place where I can teach children to play instruments. For that, I need your support. Your genuine and heartwarming teaching method is something I'll never forget. Would you consider supporting the start of this learning place with me? I believe someone like you would be perfect to inspire children who are chasing their dreams.
Layla, as always, bowed her head respectfully. Please, look up, I replied, inadvertently using formal language given her earnest demeanor. Are you sure I'm the right person? I'm clearly homeless and haven't had a proper job in years. Can I really be of help? Honestly, I felt a genuine joy at Layla's proposal. Given my current circumstances, I hadn't even dared to dream of having a meaningful job, especially one related to trumpets, which I had long since given up on. But beyond that joy, I was also consumed by the fear of becoming a burden to her.
Whether or not one has a home, I believe that passion and genuine dedication to dreams and music are far more important. That's why I'm convinced that you are the perfect person, just like how you supported me back then. I want you to continue supporting many others in realizing their dreams.
Layla spoke with unwavering conviction. Her enthusiasm touched my heart, and I decided to leave behind my life as a homeless person. I began my new life and work in a spacious classroom prepared for me. Layla moved into an apartment nearby and frequently came by to help. Now, I'm blessed with numerous students and spend every day fulfilling my purpose. Thanks to Layla, not only the children's dreams, but also my own dreams have come true. I never imagined that the day I received those $200 would lead to such a profound act of gratitude. This is a miraculous tale of two individuals who never stopped chasing their dreams and found each other through a serendipitous encounter.